And it's that time of evening, that's right. We're here a little early today. It is Natchez Renewal Radio right here, 97.7 to beat. The mayor, he's here ready to go. Good evening, Mayor.
Hello, Mr. Leon. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well, young man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm great. I
All
tell
right.
you, it got a little balmy out there. It got up into the 40s.
I'm telling you, I lost all my ice, man. I had to go back to using the refrigerator.
Oh, I tell you though, aren't we grateful? Aren't we
Absolutely.
grateful? Well, have you been doing all right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I tell you, it's been something to just see this community come together. And I wanted to come on this evening just to thank a lot of people, because normally I wouldn't be on tonight because we have a board meeting at 6 o'clock.
Right, okay.
And so I appreciate WTYJ and you, Mr. Leon, and Malcolm Ennis for letting me come on this evening, because I just felt like we needed to give some updates on how things are going.
Not a problem.
Yeah. I think back to a week ago when we first started hearing that this winter storm would be coming our way. And at that time, the predictions were really bad, really bad. We were looking at Friday night being right around freezing and raining all night, looking at being in the low 30s and raining all day Saturday, and then Saturday night, and then all into Sunday. It was looking like a really bad winter storm like we've had in years past. And we, as you know, I was here last week talking about pray for the best and prepare for the worst. And so we started preparing, and we got everybody on the same page, and we also fell in step with Robert Bradford, who is our Director of Emergency Management for Adams County.
Right.
And in fact, by the weekend, we were all on a group text. Everybody on one text so we could communicate, keep up with everybody. And at our community preparedness meeting last Thursday, right at the end of the meeting, we had some pastors there, and one of them, Pastor Wesley Downs, got up. We asked him to pray, and we prayed for this community, and I can truly say our prayers have been answered. We did not get what was originally anticipated.
Very good.
And we can be so grateful that, the streets, while they were bad, and we've had trees down and a lot to clean up, it wasn't anything like we saw in February of 2021. And I'm praying
other parts of the country.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened north of us. North Mississippi, communities like Oxford. Have you seen the pictures of Oxford?
Right, yeah.
And our heart goes out to them and what they're dealing with. And so, you only have to look at those situations and understand that we are blessed. I want to thank all of our citizens for hanging in there. I know it was tough, especially getting so cold on Sunday night and last night, and this morning with so many still without power. I have really good news. I've been in constant contact with Tim Runnels and even Haley Fasackerly, the CEO of Entergy, and we've had a lot of texting back and forth over the last couple days, and it's remarkable, really, what Entergy has accomplished in our area. Over 4,000 outages, approaching 4,500, and the majority of that in the city limits. And I just talked to Tim a few minutes ago, and by tonight, they will have gotten everybody restored except for about 50.
Wow.
To go from almost 4,500 to 50.
That is great.
In less than 2 days. Because 2.5 days. Because when you think about it, Sunday was so bad. They did what they could do, but it was dangerous being out there. And I know there were a lot of people frustrated Sunday night when their power still wasn't restored, and they were reaching out to me, but these crews couldn't work. After a certain point, they have to let them get rest, and they have to let them get out of the cold. because of OSHA requirements.
Right.
And safety, is the top
safety,
concern.
especially safety.
But they were back at it yesterday morning into the evening, back at it this morning. And there are so many areas in our state that they are saying will be out for many more days, if not weeks. And so we truly are grateful. I talked to Transportation Commissioner Charles Busby yesterday. His office was one of the first to reach out to us Sunday morning and offer their assistance. We also have heard from Commissioner Wayne Carr, who is our commissioner on the, for the power. He's our commissioner over the power companies and all. Let me just say this. It appears that out of that southern district, which we are in, we were really about as south as it got. And we're so grateful that counties on beyond us and on down to the coast were okay. Just great. But our Public Safety Commissioner, Wayne Carr, we're grateful that he reached out, grateful that Charles Busby reached out, grateful that Haley Fasackley has been reaching out to make sure Natchez is okay. He's the CEO of Entergy. We've had a lot of people out there wanting to make sure, we're okay. But Natchez, you really have an amazing spirit. People out there with chainsaws helping their neighbors, clearing driveways. I had a neighbor offer to help clear mine, but there were far more people to help than me. We got someone to come over who needed a little work, and he got a little work today. We've got a major pile in front of our house. It has been all over. I want to say those who are still without power, I don't think it's many in the city. These are in some of the more remote areas. Just be patient, and if you need to continue re-reporting that outage, keep calling 1-800-ENTERGY, because sometimes you just have to re-report it. Their maps will show, and we had this situation, the maps will show that some properties are restored, some locations, and that's incorrect, because while it may show that it should be restored, there may be an issue with the line going to your house or some other issue in close proximity to your house. So always re-report until you are satisfied that they're getting it taken care of.
Okay.
We have to continue giving people a few warnings. Duncan Park is still being cleared. We have some safety concerns there, trees down and power lines down. And of course, the priority areas right now are neighborhoods and businesses,
the residential
residences. So we're asking people to stay out of Duncan Park till we can get it straight. We also have issues at the Natchez City Cemetery where we had some damage. Hopefully, all of this will be cleaned up in due time. We have had conversations just an hour ago with a company called Looks Great that we have contracted with in the past. We contracted with them in 2021 to clean up our city after that ice storm. But in order for the city to be reimbursed the expense of hiring this out, we have to have a declaration of emergency category A by the governor. And as of this afternoon, the governor has only issued a category B declaration. Okay. And the category B declaration allows for some emergency services, issues to be addressed and possibly reimbursed, but not the actual debris pickup. So we're waiting to see. We're thinking that's going to come through, especially as bad as things are in North Mississippi. And if so, we will be ready to do an emergency procurement contract with Looks Great, like we've done in the past, to go ahead and get some outside help. In the meantime, we are asking people just to go ahead and get your debris to the street as quickly as you can. Our city's not going to look that pretty for the next few weeks, but we'll get it cleaned up. We've been through this before.
Yes.
Just get it to the street. Our crews cannot go on private property, but if you get it to the street, we're going to do our best to get the city cleaned up. Now, I want to give a shout out to Public Works.
Definitely.
We've been talking about Entergy. Those crews have been out in some insane conditions. I just feel for them, but so has our own Public Works crew members. They were out putting sand on streets and in strategic areas very early. I think they were out at 6 o'clock Sunday morning, and they remained out into the night Sunday night. And you know how bad those temperatures were.
Oh, yeah.
And how brutal it was.
Yeah.
So I've been telling folks, if you see an Entergy crew member, if you see one of these Public Works crew members out, or in the county, see the county crew members, give them a cup of coffee, give them an attaboy, give them something,
right,
just to show your appreciation for them, because they truly are selfless in their service to our citizens. And it's just so rewarding to see the spirit they have. They truly are amazing. Our police officers, our firefighters. And, I do want to express my condolences to the family of, I believe his name was Richard Johnson, who passed away in a trailer fire last night. Out in the county, in an area without power, sadly, I believe he was using propane in a heater to stay warm. And the trailer ended up catching on fire. I'm sure you've seen it in the news. And so keep his family in your prayers. I actually recognized him as someone that I've seen around town and always so friendly. And it's just a real tragic loss. Nationwide, there have been quite a few dozen losses due to the winter weather. That's why we always tell people, take care to check on your loved ones, on your family members. In fact, we had a couple dozen or more come to our safe room this weekend to get out of the cold. It's just so important to have those services. I'm so grateful to Mr. Bradford and all of them. I want to give another shout out, and that is to Sheriff Travis Patton. Throughout the day, Sunday into Monday, I received a lot of text messages from Sheriff Patton and pictures, and that helped us. And we were, Sheriff Patton really helped us to have assessments all over the city and county, and he was really out there. We're grateful for his leadership as our sheriff. I also want to give a shout out to Southwest Electric Power Association. Now, they've had it a lot worse than Entergy. They have a little bit of the city on the southern end, but most of their territory is rural. Out in the counties,
area is rural, yeah.
all throughout the southwestern region of the state. And they've had thousands without power. They've had, their crew count has been 150 or more as at last count from figures I saw. And I understand they've gotten a lot of people back on, but it's going to take longer for Southwest customers simply because of some of the remoteness, some of what they deal with. I've learned a lot over the years about this art of power restoration. It's an elaborate process. They have to first identify, where the live wires are and where the danger is. And they have to have crews come in, and they have to wait on those crews. They can't just go cutting on trees until crews have cleared the area. They have to find the source of power. They have to cut the power. And sometimes, power goes in many directions in these neighborhoods. And it is unbelievable how quickly they've been able to get these households restored when you think of that process. And then they have the linemen who, in these extreme conditions, then go about their work.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous and hazardous
It is.
environment. I used to do work in Los Angeles with LA street lighting, and I got to see just how serious, how dangerous that
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Working with high voltage.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And I know people have been so worried about our trees, but it's sad that this situation has come up, and in emergency conditions, they have to get out and they have to do what they have to do to get power restored. There was a terrible rumor going around, and you almost find it funny, that some folks thought that the Entergy crews were waiting on approval from the Historic Society before they could go cutting trees. And that was absolutely ridiculous. I tried to put an end to that online. I think it's important to understand when we have an emergency situation, the safety of our people has to come first, and getting power back on. Being without power for an extended period of time can be a dangerous situation. And so they are allowed to go and cut away to do what they have to do to restore power.
Well, that's one of my favorite subjects, Mayor, is
yes.
The fact that social media allows you to just go there and say whatever, and that's dangerous.
It is.
You just don't go and make assumptions.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about fake news. I told someone just this weekend, it's a hard enough time fighting fake news from the traditional outlets. Mm-hmm. But now we really have to fight it on social media. Because putting fake stuff out
they can take AI and their computers and little toys and just wreak havoc when it's not real.
I know. Yeah. I know. And so we are grateful that people have been helping us put these rumors at bay. I do want to say this, though. Over the last several weeks, Entergy has been attempting to trim some of the trees
that
have been on these heavy power lines.
Yeah.
I've gotten numerous calls complaining about this, and we've actually met with Entergy numerous times. We've had our public works crew and Justin Dollar, who is actually an arborist, to meet with them to help guide them in the proper way to cut these trees. We've managed to get what could have been some bad situations made better because we've been working with them. But still, we've had people just not wanting their trees cut. Well, sadly, because we may not have seen Entergy get them trimmed in a proper way, some of these trees have been trimmed just in an improper way by crews working in terrible conditions, just very fast and furious with big saws just to get power back on. So I think going forward, we've got to work in a more proactive way with Entergy to understand that we really value our beautiful old historic trees. But at the same time, we also value being able to have power not go down in these ice events.
Right, and safety is a priority.
I actually reached out to the mayor of Ocean Springs, Mayor Bobby Cox, who's a friend of mine, because, Ocean Springs has an ordinance that protects their live oaks. And in fact, we've been looking at a similar thing here. And I said, well, Mayor, how do you balance that with public safety and dealing with trees that just have to be trimmed because of power concerns? He said, listen, when the power company comes and tells us they've got to trim these trees, we get out of their way. Even though we hate to see some of the trees trimmed, we don't want them telling us in the storm event, well, you had a chance to have these trimmed and you didn't let us trim them, and now look what you've got. So we're going to have to strike some happy medium going forward, because we definitely want to keep our city beautiful, but we also want to keep our city safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a challenge. It's a real challenge. I want to end by saying this. we're going to have a board meeting shortly, and we've got a lot on our agenda tonight. You can tune in, watch it. It'll be on Facebook Live tonight and on YouTube also. But we have a lot going on in Natchez this week. Thursday evening, we will have a community meeting to talk about the Forks of Freedom project that is going forward. I don't have it handy where that meeting is. I meant to have it right in front of me. Let me pull it up here on my phone, because we really need folks to come out. That is a $24.5 million project. And we are having this meeting at the Natchez Convention Center from 4:30 to 6:30. Our engineer, Neil Schaefer, will be there along with others who are involved. And we are getting public comment as we work on this improvement that will take place at the flyover, Devereux Drive, St. Catherine Street, Jefferson Street, all the way to the bluff, and including intersections downtown to make them ADA compliant. So I really encourage our citizens to come out to the convention center at 4:30 this Thursday so that you can have a say in this major project that is coming to Natchez.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah, we're in the design phase right now. And once we get through the design phase, we will go to the next step, and that will be getting all of the permits, approvals through U.S. Department of Transportation, MDOT, and then by next year going into the bid process. We'd like to get this project underway next year and actually get it completed, if we could, by 2027. We understand it's a big project. It could take a little longer. So come on out Thursday. Also, Friday, we're having the Mississippi Songwriters Festival. This is an event that we've been so excited to be awarded by the Mississippi Songwriters Association. George Cumbest founded this association in 2010, and it has a acoustic guitar heavy Nashville connection. And so they will be all over town, and we'll be at venues Friday night and at the Civic Center Saturday, and some major talent coming to the Civic Center Saturday night, some major songwriters. The event is free. It's free. Of course, if you go to a local venue, you'll probably want to have a snack or get a drink. But you can come to the Civic Center Saturday evening, Saturday during the day, and everything is free. We want to thank Taco Bell, our presenting sponsor, and numerous other sponsors who have helped make this possible. The show is going on. Listen, I'm going to end by giving a word of condolence to, the family and dear, beautiful wife of our friend Willie B. Jones. Constable. Willie B. He passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Didn't know that.
And he had just retired from the police department. He had had so many years of service in our community, and we will really miss him. The funeral is at Pilgrim this Saturday at 11. And I just want to ask everyone to keep Willie B.'s precious wife and family in your prayers. He did a lot for our community over many, many years as an elected official and as a police officer, and we truly will miss him.
Okay.
Well, that's all I've got. God bless you, Mr. Leon and Malcolm Ennis, and this New Vision broadcasting that makes WTYJ happen. We're just so blessed to have you and have this opportunity to be on the radio tonight.
Anytime, Mayor. And thanks again for stopping, bringing us up to date.
My pleasure.
97.7 The Beat, NatchezRadio.com. That was the Mayor, Dan Gibson, right here in Natchez, Adams County, bringing you up to date with the storms and what's happening in the area.